What's going on, everyone? Today we are going to take a look at animation culling. Animation culling is kind of something a lot of people don't really do. I do it whenever working with a lot of Foley that's dancing, kind of like what you see in like Super Mario, things like that. Uh, so what it does is it does not animate if it is not being viewed on screen. So, to get started, I want to create an empty game object. And I'm going to call it base dancer. Now, what base dancer is it's the only object in the scene that's actually going to have the animation component on. All the other Foley in the scene that's going to be dancing is going to access this transform only if it is being rendered. So if it's not being rendered, it's not going to access the transformation and not change its own transformation. So I'll add a animation component, and I already have a dancing animation. Alright, since we got that all set up, create a new C# script and I call it dance transform. Now every object in the scene will have this script attached that is going to be accessing this animation or this base dancer. Get rid of all that stuff. Alright, now we need a public boolean called base dancer. And there's only going to be one in the scene, so I'm going to initialize it as false. Then we need a private static transform dancer. It's going to equal null. This is going to be the dancer that everybody's going to access statically. That way we don't need any other reference to it. We can just access it without any extra code. We need to cache our transformation. Well, cache our transform. So let's go ahead and do that. If it doesn't, just add extra stuff. So t equals transform. Now also in the await function, I need to check if the base dancer boolean is true, and if it is, I'm going to say dancer equals t. So the static dancer equals this transform if it is the base dancer. Now here is the function that is going to be checking to see if it is on screen or not, which is called on will render object. So inside of this function, I need to check if camera.current.name equals main camera, or whatever you named your camera. I'm also going to check if the dancer does not equal null, because if we don't have an object in the scene that base dancer is not set to true, then dancer is always going to be null. So you'll get an error if we throw any more code at it. So we need to check to make sure that we have set it. So inside of here, I'm going to set the rotation to the dancer rotation. Now I'm going to set this local scale to dancer dot local scale. Also, I need to make sure that this is not the base dancer. So I don't want it to be manipulating its own transform if it's already done. That wouldn't make much sense now, would it? Alright, so now we got that all done. I can go over here to the base dancer. I can drop this dance transform, and this is the base dancer. So then I'm going to drop in my grass, which is right here. Gonna give it a color so it's not all flat white. There we go. Now, since we're checking to see if it's being rendered on the screen, we want to attach this dance transform to an object that has a mesh renderer or some kind of renderer. Because if not, then it's never being rendered and it's never going to update its transform. So I'm going to drop that on there. It's not a base dancer, so we're already good to go. Drop that into grass. And just so that we can check to see if it's working, I'm going to add a couple of these in here. Alright, so we can see these on screen. We can see this one in this window. So, I think we're good to go. Let's hit play. And this one should not move. Yep. Okay. So these are dancing. This one is not. And let me see if I can find the camera. Alright. So I'll put them right here. I'll rotate this around. When it comes out of view, it will stop dancing. And this one over here is dancing. Alright, and that is it. Super simple, not much coding. In just a few lines of code, that's it. And make sure that your code is not being rendered or being called every frame, because, well, that wouldn't be very good. So I guess I will see you on the next one.